Greetings and welcome to the Sports Card Ripping Teacher. Today I'm here for a VR for the Passionate Pack Rat. If you do not sub him already, go ahead and click the link, sub him up, watch a couple of the videos so you do know what this VR is all about. Part of it is to be outside. I am outside. I am under a light pole and it lights up some of our baseball fields here in Woodridge, Illinois. That's the diamond right there. Graham played his very first Little League game. A couple of the other diamonds right there. IKEA in the background. So yes, part of the video is to be outside. And I really have to start this VR much earlier this morning. It is the week before school starts, so kind of busy doing things at school. But I was like, you know what, Jax? Do you want to go fishing this morning? So him and I, we went fishing. And while I was out there, on my phone, I got a YouTube update, and Passionate Pack Rat had commented on one of my videos, and I saw something on there about a VR. And he mentioned the one I did for 3 Good Nerds outside of Wrigley Field, which caught my attention. I always like doing these VRs, just a matter of finding the time and actually doing them. And this one I was excited about. You know, Bruce Springsteen coming to Wrigley Field tomorrow and Friday. Maybe I could do it there, but it just didn't seem right. And on this date, which is August 8th, 2023, I always think of my very first Cubs game. So here's the ticket to my very first Cubs game right there. And I was in kindergarten. It was a heck of a game. Let me tell you about it. Starting pitcher that day for the Houston Astros, Nolan Ryan, going against Jamie Moyer of the Chicago Cubs. Jamie Moyer still may be playing and pitching these days. But anyways, the game went 18 innings. However, it was suspended at the top of the 15th. Well, why was it suspended top of the 15th? That's because Wrigley Field did not have lights. You know, no one should be facing Big Lee Smith when it's getting dark outside. So they did suspend the game, and they finished it the next day. Billy Hatcher hit a home run in the 18th inning. This is crazy. First game as a Cubs fan. You got to know something's up about being a Cubs fan. I didn't realize that right away. I'm glad I didn't ditch it and become a fan of someone else. But Billy Hatcher hit it off of a rookie pitcher. The guy probably never made in the big leagues at all. Greg Maddux, have you heard of him? Yeah, Greg Maddux gave up the home run that lost the game. Now, why is all that important? Well, today is August 8th, 2023. On August 8th, 1988, was supposed to be the very first night game at Wrigley Field. And they did play a few innings. They were 6 outs away from it being an official game. And then water came down and never stopped. The good Lord did not want the Cubs to play night baseball. And that game was washed out, canceled. They played the next day for the first official game. But yeah, just never happened. So I always think back to my first game as a Cubs fan. I went with my mom and my dad. This is the ticket stub. I used to use it as a bookmark, but I kind of just have it in my room now, kind of in a safe place. And whenever I think of Wrigley Field, it all goes back to that day with my mom and dad. I always think back and say, hey, that was a great time that I had with them. So I'm always trying to do things with my boys and hope that, hey, one day they're going to think back on that day the way that I think back of that Cubs game that we never got to see finished. All right, today we have a pack of Topps Archive here. Wilson Contreras, no longer a Cub. Alex Rodriguez. Stan the Man Musial, nice looking card right there. Robbie Ray, TJ Friedel, Joe Ryan. All right, so again, this VR was for the Passionate Pack Rat. I enjoyed thinking back to my first Cubs game when I was in kindergarten and also the day that Wrigley Field got lights. Class is dismissed.